Yo guys, what's going on? This is Deviant here with the video blog once again, and let's get to it. I got some stuff I want to talk about, and that's why we're making this blog here. So first off, I just finished watching the first episode of The Tester Season 3. Pretty cool prize this time, the job. Like a production assistant on Santa Monica Studios. That would be beast. But as for the show itself, the first event or test, whatever it is, was pretty whack. I mean, is this Fear Factor or is this The Tester? I won't say who got eliminated because I won't spoil anything, but I don't know. It's a different group of people. I'm rooting for like 3 people, and we'll see what happens. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like there's a lot of BS involved, but it's entertainment, whatever. So enough of that. I picked up a couple of things today, and traded some games, and I've been playing a couple of things. Also been working like a dog, but so let's just get to it. So first, I want to show you. Just got this today. I got Resident Evil Revelations. I don't know if it's just me, but if you look at this cover here, it almost looks like it's just printed out of a regular printer. It doesn't look like a quality insert. Also, there is the misprint here of Revelations. Revelations. Anyway. So started playing this, and I had tried to get something else, but of course GameStop says, did you pre-order? And I said, no, I did not. And they said, well, yeah, a lot of people think you can just come in and get stuff out of the store, but you have to pre-order it. And I pretty much told the guy, so you don't actually sell the product in the store, Well, if you pre-order, I said, yeah, so you don't sell it in the store. So anyway. So, I had to go to another GameStop, which I usually had frequent a lot in the past. So the guy knew me. And I got the Circle Pad Pro, the little attachment here. Or over here. Has a little strap on that it comes with, for 20 bucks. And that's what it looks like with the thing open. Now, at first, it's like, looks like a garbage, but you know what? The grip, look at that grip. Got the extra Z triggers here. This one has an extra 2 triggers here, and then you use this trigger here. And then you got, of course, the dual analogs or dual slide pads, and that's the only issue I have so far is this pad here for Resident Evil controls the turning. Well, before I get into that, Resident Evil's Revelations controls are very similar to Dead Space. You can walk and aim. You got the strafing with the right pad. You got the, or strafing with the left pad and looking around and turning with the aiming and everything with the other one. And then you got this Z button here. I think it's ZL to aim and then ZR to shoot. Problem is, you have Y is reload, right? So you're going from here to here, and it takes some getting used to. It's just, you got a big gap you got to fill here. But what I like about it the most is just the grip, because I can't hold the 3DS any longer than an hour, and I can't hold it anymore. My hands just cramp up. Just won't allow me to do it. The 3D is intense on Revelations, and because you can crank it up within the game. There's also a first person and a third person aiming mode. I put mine in third person. The other bad thing about this pad, circle pad thing here, is if you notice, the game slot is completely blocked. It's using like the infrared sensor and it's going into here. But I mean, it's in there pretty well. It doesn't slip out or anything. It's definitely makes it unportable if you're gonna travel with it, like in your pocket. But it's also non-glossy, so it's, you know, if you get sweaty hands, your hands are not slipping off immediately. And you know, the buttons feel okay. The stick, the problem with the stick is I keep accidentally hitting up instead of left and right. So like I'll be aiming, instead of just going like this, I'll be going like this. And so it's hard to get used to these slide pads, especially since the other pad is so far out. It's so far over here. You know what I mean? They're so far away from each other. And I haven't tried it with other games yet, because I don't think there's any other games that utilize it. But let's say I wanted to play Mario Kart. Well, I'm assuming, you know, now I could hold A instead of Y. It's a little more comfortable, have better grip. But I don't know if you know, I don't know how much more comfortable it is. I'm assuming more because, you know, this thing has a nice grip to it. So that's pretty much my thoughts on the extra slide pad. I did play Resident Evil without it. It's closer to Resident Evil 4 style controls. But I think it's come to the point now where, actually I don't have a problem with those controls, but I think it's come to the point where if they're going to implement Dead Space style controls, I'm all for it. I'm all for it because Dead Space has great third-person controls. So there's that. As for the game itself, graphically it looks pretty damn good for a 3DS game. And the 3D, like I said, you can increase, so it's intense. I can't watch it for more than 10 minutes. I start to like... There's a lot of ghosting because there's a lot of dark areas. And so you start seeing like dual images. Even if you got a like sweet spot right there, you can't. So, controls work well both ways, but I recommend the Circle Pad Pro. I don't know. It's episodic, and I feel like you're not really, the first 2 episodes you don't really do much. So a little disappointed so far. But I traded in some games to get this. And since Capcom readjusted the price to $40, which is still probably, but because of the graphics look pretty great, probably why they're trying to suck up the money like that. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, give it a try. If you're a fan of Resident Evil, you might. I mean, it's more Resident Evil. You got this scanner thing where you can scan stuff and then items pop out. Ammo's scarce in the game. For some reason your gun can only hold so much ammo, and then you just gotta leave the ammo laying on the ground, but you know, it is what it is. Also, I had got my hands on a Vita at GameStop, and oh boy, that pushed me over the edge. I really think I'm gonna grab one now. I mean, that shit was awesome. That shit is so light. Perfect size for like man hands. Touchscreen worked amazing. You're in the game, you hit the home button, immediately back to the home screen. The trackpad was pretty slick. Graphics look amazing. I tried out Gravity Rush. Alrighty, man, that's a game I really want. Real unique. I saw Uncharted, looked good. Didn't really mess with it. But the analog sticks do feel a little weird. Takes some getting used to. They're definitely better than the PlayStation portable nubs, but not quite as good as full-fledged sticks. But the thing is actually super light. I mean, it's amazing how light that sucker is. And the D-pad is probably one of the best D-pads ever made. Ever. For fighting games, it's like perfect. It has complete rotation. You don't have these separate buttons here like on the PS3 controller. It's one D-pad, just like it's awesome. I mean, I really was excited for it, watching all the impressions on YouTube and everything. But after actually getting one in my hands, I pretty much sold on it. It's just a matter of coming up with the funds at the right time. I do want Gravity Days or Rush. I think it's called Gravity Days in Japan. Ninja Gaiden Sigma looks pretty slick. That'd be fun to have, portable style. Uncharted I do want eventually. Lumines, I won't pay $40 for Lumines, but if it has cool music, definitely try that out. And I plan to download all my games simply because I don't want to have, especially with the handheld, it just makes more sense to have digital. All your games on your system, you don't have to be going opening. That's what I like about 3DS right now, is that, now I gotta have this game in there, especially with the Pad Pro on, because, you can't just, it's really easy to pop out. You really just, pull it out. But it's blocking the game slot, so now I gotta pull the thing out, take the game, put it back in the case, get the other game, it's just a lot of unnecessary steps that I'm just so used to, just touching something and instantly happening, that it's very petty, but at the same time, it's just in the way. So yeah, that's that. The Vita looks, like I said, fantastic, man. Hopefully it does well. It looks like it has a lot of potential to be one sweet machine right there. And the last thing I want to talk about is a game I finally started playing, and oh boy, some good shit. Yakuza 4, man. Look at that shit. Look at that. I mean, I don't know why it took me so long to play this game. I mean, I really, really burned myself out on part 3 because I just was not expecting that game to come, and when it came, it was like when Sonic got announced in Smash Brothers. That type of excitement for me personally, Yakuza 3 coming to the States, was unbelievable. So when 4 came out, I'm like, well, I love Yakuza, but it's just I was burned at too much. So anyway, finally started playing it, and they changed it up because now everything's more organized, skills are more organized, keeping track of things you've earned and collected and purchased, and just everything in the game is just more organized, inventory wise and everything. And also, you play as 4 characters. You play as Akiyama over here. This is like a moneylender type of dude. And then you play as Saejima, who is connected to Kazuma in some sort of way. He was in prison for 25 years for something that he did, but it unravels a little more. And then you got the last dude, I forgot his name already, Tanimura, something like that, detective type of dude. He speaks multiple languages in Asian, like Korean, Chinese, and everything. So there's certain sections of the city blocked off, and he can get in there because, he's cool with them. And they all have totally different fighting styles. Especially the detective, he can actually handcuff dudes. He has like a Bruce Lee style almost. And then of course you play as Kazuma, and he's still the fucking best. He's still the fucking best, dude. But it's like part 1, 2, 3, 4. You play like that, and the story is awesome. It's fucking awesome. This shit, all these stories connect. All these stories connect. This just brings it back full circle. If you played through all the games, the first one, second one, all of them, and you start playing this near the end, you start finding out shit from the first game that just changes the whole story arc. It's fucking awesome. Story is so awesome. Really is. Characters, I mean, I personally love these characters. To me, they're so fucking interesting. They're just, I mean, Kazuma's a complete badass mofo. I mean, straight up. I can't gush enough, honestly. There's the inside. One of the best series, last and current generation. This should not be overlooked. PlayStation 3 owners definitely get into this series. If you like action beat 'em ups, if you like good stories, if you just like the Japanese culture, this game is so awesome. It does start out a little slow, especially this one. A little slow. But as you progress, and the combat, to me, people get bored of the combat because, you're constantly fighting, but the combat in this game is so satisfying. Just the shit you learn and the shit you pull off. Awesome. I'm still not sick of it. I'm still not sick of this. And then Dead Souls is coming out. I played the Japanese demo like a year ago, and I liked it. I liked what I played, so I already had decided right then and there if it ever comes out, and sure enough, it's coming out. So, gonna get that. Also, the team behind Yakuza is working on a game called Binary Domain. The Japanese demo on PlayStation 3 is out. A little hard to understand what's going on, but you can kind of get the gist of the controls and stuff, and wow, that game's gonna be a sleeper hit. It's an awesome third-person shooter. The movement of the characters felt great. Didn't feel stiff like Gears of War, like you're gonna do the roadie run and you're like stuck in your. None of that bullshit. The guns were awesome. Cool thing is too, your teammates, you can actually interact with your teammates with voice. So they have, I guess there's a headset that comes with it, and you can give voice commands to your characters. And according to the trust level you build with these characters, determines whether or not they're gonna listen to you or not. So I didn't even know that part of the game was even there. And to find out about that was like, wow, holy shit. Because I know you could hit L2 and pick what you wanted to say, but to be able to say it through voice command, that is going to be awesome. So, I don't know. I mean, I can't stress enough, as, just a fan of games, how awesome this series is. It really is an awesome fucking series. I mean, Mass Effect to me is one of the best series this generation. I really enjoyed Dead Space. Assassin's Creed series has been pretty good for the most part. But this game is awesome, man. This is straight video gamer game right here. Yakuza 4. I can't stress it enough. Anyway, this is probably gone on too long, so I'm gonna cut it off here. So hopefully, if I get the Vita, I'll definitely do some impressions and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens, guys. Until then, catch you next time.